Hello and welcome to Entertainment-30, the show where we break down all the hottest entertainment news in just 30 minutes.
I wanted
like
Taylor
it.
Swift to perform halftime.
Even though she has grown on me a lot.
But if Drake drops an album, the world stops.
I'm always like a big fan of like, what are they wearing?
She's like, I got nominated.
With a rainbow
a rainbow.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment-30, the show where we break down all the hottest entertainment news in just 30 minutes. I'm your host, Kenny Johnson, and joining me to my left today is...
I'm Ashley Pierson. Kenny, I am so excited to talk about Brie Larson and Captain Marvel.
Of course, but let's go on to our other panelists to decide. We have a newcomer today.
Hello everyone, I'm Paige. I'm new, but I'm excited to talk about Mamma Mia.
Oh yeah, Paige, my favorite topic of the day. And then sitting right next to her.
I'm Madison Golden, and I'm excited today to talk about my girl, Taylor Swift.
Of course, Taylor has been all over the news lately. What do we think about her countdown? Is it gonna happen or no?
You know, Kenny, I really wanted to believe it because you persuade me, but I think the countdown is no more.
I think the countdown has been shut down. Oh, well, let's move into our top segment of the day, and our segment, Top 2. Actor Luke Perry passed away this past March 4th. Doctors claim a stroke is the reason for his passing. Luke Perry has been on such shows as 90210, Beverly Hills, and most recently played the father of Archie in Riverdale. Doctors say his death was caused by a stroke, and his co-stars have paid tribute to him over social media. Perry was 52. Madison, I'm going to start with you because you have said that you've watched Riverdale. What do you think of his passing?
Yeah, I really loved him on Riverdale. He brought a lot to the show, and it's just so sad that he was so young. 52 is really young.
It is.
But it was really nice. All of the stars made sure that they reached out, especially KJ Apa, who plays his son on the show, made sure that he gave him a special tribute. And he'll definitely be missed on the show, and that'll kind of be a missing piece now in the dynamic, I think, of the cast.
Yeah, I think so too. And Ashley, 52 is really, really young.
Yeah.
And I think his death is causing more awareness. What do you think about that and how that's spreading?
Yeah, I'm sure it definitely is. Like, all of those crews are so tight-knit, especially when you're doing season after season after season.
Yes.
So I think maybe that was a shock to some of them, and definitely a shock to all of us who even watched that show or have seen him in 90210. So I think that is probably bringing a lot more awareness, and obviously it makes a difference that the crew is like giving a tribute out to him as well.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I don't watch the show at all, but I do know a lot of my friends watch it, and they really liked this character, and they loved him as a person and an actor off the screen, so I don't know, but I just hope they can continue the show the way they started it.
I know they'll have to think of a way to end his
Write him
character.
off.
Yeah.
Which is kind of tough because in past episodes and seasons he was near death.
on
so
the
it's
show,
like
right.
it's gonna be really hard for those writers, I'm sure. All right, well, time to move on to a lighter subject for today. Singer Jennifer Lopez, also known as J-Lo, is now engaged to Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a former baseball star. J-Lo announced their engagement on social media this Saturday. Jennifer is 49 and Alex is 43 years old. Well, this is a little lighter topic, you know. What do you think of J-Lo getting engaged?
I love J-Lo. And I just want her to be happy.
Oh, yes.
If J-Lo's happy, I'm happy. She's a great performer, great dancer. I know I'm just going off on just what J-Lo does at this point. But, I mean, I don't know much about Alex Rodriguez, but, I mean, they're cute together. That's all I really have to say.
Yes. And Paige, J-Lo has been around for a long time.
I remember watching her as a kid, and I go, oh my gosh, she could dance?
Yes.
That's crazy. I heard she was asked a couple times, and she always said no, but this time she finally
She
put
said,
a ring on it. Yeah.
She said once all the media started getting to her, she said, of course, this one's the right one for me.
Good for her, though, for trusting her gut.
Do you think she's going to release, I don't know if she will, but do you think she'll release any new music over her?
I don't know. I don't think she's necessarily focused on music right now. I think she's really focused on her family life. And I really like A-Rod. I've always respected him, and I think he treats her really well, and it's exactly who she deserves.
You're right. You're right about that singing thing because I feel like she's established herself as more of a dancer now, being the host of that one show, World of Dance.
Yep.
Yes, of course. Well, I think this is going to be great for J-Lo, and hopefully we won't have another, stars get engaged and then they break it up.
Pull it off.
Cough, cough. Lady Gaga. Jenna's not here to come after
know.
Lady Gaga, but
Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande too is
Yeah.
another one who had an engagement. Hopefully Jennifer and Alex, they'll be like Miley Cyrus and
Yes.
Liam Hemsworth. Well,
Yes.
they'll stick through it. I mean, both of them are reaching
They're
their
mature
50s.
enough.
They're mature enough.
They
for
have
sure.
children of their own.
Of
They've
course.
been through it once. I think they're ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to cover Marvel's first female-led superhero flick. Don't go anywhere. Marvel's first female-led superhero blockbuster has finally been released in theaters. Captain Marvel was expected to do good at the box office, but is shattering expectations. The movie will be the 18th largest movie opening of all time, and it has also become Marvel Studios' 7th biggest opening. Captain Marvel is now in theaters. You guys, I know this show is notorious for having hosts that aren't into superhero movies, but this female-led perspective, who wants to discuss that?
The trailer looked amazing.
Yes.
Not just because it was female-led, which is awesome, but I mean the production quality and just like the script writing and everything, just in the trailer looked. I'm so excited. So excited.
I think I will give this one a chance just because of the respect I have for Brie Larson and how much I know she put into this role. She was doing 2-a-days for like 8 or 9 months to get into the best physical shape possible. So out of respect for her as an actress, I think I would give this movie a shot.
Ashley, I know you're a big Brie Larson fan as well.
Well, I'm not only a Brie Larson fan, I'm just a huge Marvel fan.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've been a Marvel fan for about a couple years now.
That is a shock.
Ashley
like,
loves Marvel.
I love Marvel movies, and I'm so excited that Marvel finally did this female lead.
Yes.
Because Wonder Woman, I also loved that movie,
That one
and
was
it was
really
a great
good.
female superhero
Yes,
movie.
that one was
And I
actually very
think
good.
the production quality of this, I watched the trailer, I've seen it, and I just think with like their production quality of other ones that they've had in the past, I just feel like they really stepped it up.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to see
And
this
Marvel
movie.
really hasn't had a bomb. I mean, they've had a couple like snoozer types, but
Yeah.
never a bomb. And I think that this is gonna pave the way for more female-led superheroes within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, Black Widow, we're waiting. We're
Yeah.
waiting for Black Widow.
I also did see something online where it's like apparently they gave like a foreshadowing of this young black girl who will probably be a superhero later on in one of their movies.
Yes.
So something to look for in the movie, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm super excited. I
Yes.
saw that
Well,
online.
and you know, Marvel loves to build their universe even
Oh,
bigger.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
Crazy.
this one, is it 21? It's either 20 or 21, but
up there.
it's
Yeah.
the universe is so big and it's so expansive, and I just can't wait. I haven't seen it, but I literally am on the edge of my seat to just drive to the theater and go watch it. All right, well, Sony Pictures has released a second trailer for the movie, the sci-fi movie Brightburn. Brightburn stars Elizabeth Banks, and the story follows her raising a superhero child who crash lands in an alien space pod. Does that sound familiar? The movie is taking the classic Superman story and turning it into a horror movie. Brightburn will be released in May. Paige.
I just watched the trailer.
Yes.
But I got a lot of Carrie vibes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the musical, the movie, whatever. I'm so excited. I love horror movies, and I can't wait to watch it with you, Kenny.
I know. We are just going to be like holding hands as
Screaming.
as the carnage ensues. And which it will. I mean, Madison, there is so much going on in this trailer.
It looked actually, I kind of like it. It's a unique spin and kind of combining two very popular genres
Yes.
into one film. So I thought it looked very good. Obviously, it's going to be a little scary, and the trailer had some startling parts, but I think it will be,
We can watch it together.
yeah, it'll be a good one to go see with your friends.
Yes.
And scream.
And Ashley, what are your predictions? Do you think it'll be critically acclaimed or like more of a cult status?
I think it might be more of a cult status. I'm just like getting that kind of vibe like from the trailer.
True.
It's not like, it's kind of like falls along the more lines of like the typical horror thing, but I don't know, it wasn't like, I want to see it right now.
Yes.
And I'm also not a horror type, like movie type of person, so it's like, you really have to draw me in. And like, I like more of like the horror movies that are like, more like mind thrilling and like
Oh,
horror
like a
like
thriller,
that.
more
yeah.
of a thriller, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a psychological thriller instead of an actual like get me to jump out of my seat type thriller.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll be seeing this
And
movie.
it's been a while since we've seen a sci-fi horror because we've had a lot of supernatural ones. I mean,
Right.
the Conjuring universe you
Yep.
had, and then you had Hereditary.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
yes,
so
and then
creepy.
you also
Those
have
were
a ton.
terrifying.
Oh yes,
I
of
couldn't
course.
sleep that
That one
night.
was very scary.
A lot of supernatural, but I think it'll be interesting to have these two genres like come together.
Yeah.
Because superhero and horror, I mean, we've only seen it happen once, and that was in Chronicle, the movie Chronicle, and that was more of a cult status. So
Yeah, it
we'll see how Brightburn does come this May. Well, let's move on to DC. DC has yet another shakeup in its cast. After Ben Affleck left as Batman, there's another person leaving as well. Will Smith will no longer be reprising his role as Deadshot in the scheduled Suicide Squad 2. He will not reprise his role due to a scheduling conflict, and it's reported that Idris Elba is scheduled to take his place. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen Suicide Squad, but Idris Elba was in a Marvel movie. He played Heimdall in Thor,
Okay.
and then he unfortunately passed away in Avengers Infinity War, but who didn't pass away in Avengers Infinity
Yes,
War?
that is true.
But Madison, let's get your thoughts on this.
To be honest, I thought Suicide Squad was absolutely awful. So you know what? Schedule conflict or not, good job, Will Smith, getting out of that
Yes.
horrible plot, horrible written and produced movie. I mean, good luck to Idris, but I'm sorry, I just don't think the second one's going to be any better. I don't understand how it can.
I know.
Honestly, preach.
Oh my
Preach.
god.
That movie was
Oh.
not good at all. The only reason I even saw it was because Margot Robbie was in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think she was the star
I think
of that
she
movie.
stole the show.
Oh yeah,
in that
I think
movie.
she's the only person who made
the
that
only
entire
positive
movie.
out of that movie.
And it's nice to know that she's returning as well. Paige, what do you think of this new step for DC? I mean, they have been stepping up their game. I mean, Aquaman is scheduled to have a sequel as well, so they're not failing right now, and we'll see how Shazam does. But what is your thoughts on the future of DC?
I don't know for sure. If Will Smith doesn't want to be in their movie and he's a high status actor and whatnot, he can basically get any job that he wants. I don't really know if he decides he doesn't want to be in this, if it's going to be any good. I think we can trust our guts on this one, and I don't know if I'll go see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to some new DC movie, or not DC movie, DC TV. So after the break, we're going to dive into one of DC's top-rated superhero shows. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Entertainment-30. Well, it finally happened. DC's and the CW's superhero show Arrow is coming to an end. It was announced that Arrow will no longer continue after a short season 8. Arrow's end is significant because it paved the way for good superhero television all the way back in 2012. Now, you guys, this is kind of sad because I kind of grew up watching Arrow. I mean, it came out in 2012, and now it's 2019. Madison, what are your thoughts on shows ending, and I guess ending on a final note? Like they have it planned in the setup. What are your thoughts?
I kind of like it when they do that because then you're not stretching it so far beyond where it's lost the good content. If they have a set end and they know how many seasons, like I'm sure a lot of fans of some of the longer shows thought that maybe towards the end it was getting a little like, okay, we're pushing it now. But I think what I saw, I mean, I'm not a huge superhero fan, but what I saw of Arrow, it was a good quality show.
It really was. And Ashley, another show canceling. We've had a couple of, in the past just cancel and flop out, but I mean, more superhero news, right?
Yeah, I mean, 8 seasons is a long time to run.
is.
Like, it's a good, decent amount of time. Like, at least it's not like a 1-season flop or like a 2-season flop. And it's like you said, it paved the way for more superhero TV, and I think we see a lot of that in movies. And I think maybe this is giving them that opportunity to kind of maybe come to a new medium and kind of maybe change it for TV and get people involved in that way.
Yeah. I know a lot of shows are struggling right now just with Netflix producing all of their own content and Hulu and whatnot, doing like private contracting and talking to others. So I think that, that market is really hard to go against right now, especially with all these new super movie superhero movies coming out. It's just a hard market at this point, and the fact that they know when to end it and they're ending it on their own terms is really important for their whole brand and their whole image and whatnot. Their fans.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so basically what's going to happen is Arrow's going to cancel, but the other shows that spun off from Arrow, like Supergirl and The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, those will continue. So I guess close the book on Arrow, but let the others go wild, which, and I believe Stephen Amell said this. He said that although Arrow is closing, because there's a universe, he might show up, you know? I mean, when there was a DC show that wasn't connected and it was called Constantine, and they were able to take that character from another network and bring him into this DC universe. So I bet we won't see the end of these characters soon.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. All right, well, as old shows die out, new shows arise. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 2 is about to hit Netflix, and new details about the rebooted show have been released. Apparently, there may be a new love interest for Sabrina, causing a new love triangle. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina will be released April 5th. Now, who here has seen The Chilling Yes.
I liked it.
Yes.
I'm a big Riverdale fan. It didn't grab me the way Riverdale did. And some of the ways that they filmed Sabrina, it almost makes you nauseous.
Yes.
It's like, there's blurredness, and that's how they film a lot of it. So it was, when she was transforming between the two worlds, it was a little bit tough to watch, but I thought overall, like, it was a good show and it was very entertaining, and I like the dark aspect of a classic that we grew up with.
I've definitely seen like different snippets or whatever, and I watched it all growing up, but I'm excited.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm excited.
I know, and a love triangle. What do you think about that, Ashley? A little...
We love a good love triangle.
We love a good love
It
triangle.
just adds such a spin onto shows, and like, I mean, if they're doing like a darker side, she has a darker personality. You know, maybe this love triangle is part of that.
I know, maybe they'll pull a little good boy, bad boy situation, and she has to choose, like Hannah Montana, you know? Classic. It's
Classic.
Classic.
That's all you can really say.
That's all you can really say about shows like these. All right. Well, let's move on to another Netflix original. Queer Eye Season 3 is less than 3 weeks away. To celebrate this exciting news, the show took to Twitter to ask fans what their favorite moments from the past seasons were. Queer Eye is set to be released March 15th. Now, Ashley, thoughts on Queer Eye? Have you seen it? Have you gotten on board with the trend?
I've seen it,
Okay.
but also, I mean, I liked what I saw, but it's not like something I immediately always go back to. It
Gotcha.
kind of just reminds me of like TLC What Not to Wear vibes, which when I was a kid, my mom loved that show and I loved that show. So, I don't know, it's a good show. I just never really got too deep into it. But I think the concept is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very entertaining, and I see why it has such a fan base. I've only seen one episode of it, but I did enjoy it a lot, and I think that people love funny, and anything that's going to add that is a winner.
My brothers and I growing up always watched the home improvement shows and whatnot, and just, you know, taking a family who has tried their best but just can't succeed at the moment, you know, sending them on an adventure and then fixing it up all for them. You actually learn a lot too with the show, and I think the whole message is amazing.
I know, like, I think it's so funny during the show, at the very end, they'll be like, Queer Eye tip number 500, whatever. And then Anthony will be like, and that's how you cut an avocado. And then you're like, thanks, Anthony. I'm ready for episode 2. But yeah, so March 15th, that's only a couple days
That's
away.
Friday.
That's Friday. So I'm going to binge watch the whole thing. And then, I don't know if do you guys cry during the show? Because I definitely don't. But like,
I've never.
a staple of the show is people crying, you know, during. And I'm like, never me. I have a soul of stone. Well, when we return, I went to the press night of Chanhassen's newest show. See what happens after the break. Welcome back. Chanhassen Theaters is back with a new show that set a record for ticket pre-sales. The musical Mamma Mia had its opening night March 8th, and audiences were treated to some of ABBA's most popular songs. The story of Mamma Mia follows a young girl, Sophie, played by Jessica Fredrickson, who is getting ready for her big wedding and sets out to find her father's identity. She invites 3 men from her mother Donna's past back to the Greek island that they had visited 20 years ago. Songs from the musical include Dancing Queen, Super Trooper, Lay All Your Love on Me, and of course, Mamma Mia. Take a peek at Kirsten Rodow, Michelle Barber, and Therese Waltz as they sing the musical's most popular songs. I get goosebumps every single time I watch that video over and over again. It was such a good night. Look, I got my playbill.
good.
Look at this,
Yeah.
Mamma Mia. Let's take a peek.
Love it.
Crack it open, Mamma Mia. But
I love it. I love
it was so much fun. And going to Chanhassen is an experience like you'll never have. Like, I don't know if any of you have been.
Oh, I
I've
have.
never
You've,
been.
what show?
I saw Hairspray when I was in middle school.
Therese.
And I was in the front row.
Yes.
And it was fantastic. And I wanted to go again, but we went to one of the last shows, so I was unable to go again. But it's just such a great community feel. And growing up in this area my whole life and being a theater kid, just having that, end goal that one day, you can go to Chanhassen with all your friends and watch the show. And having such a professional theater in the region without going to the Guthrie or professional touring productions, it's really cool and it makes it kind of more homely, and I just love it.
Well, Therese, who played Tracy, is in Mamma Mia, so surprise.
She was fantastic.
She's so good. It was so funny. I went to the after party afterwards, and I was wearing sequins, like black sequins,
course.
and we matched. And I was like, "Oh, look at that!" And she was like, "Oh," and she gave me a face like, one of us is gonna have to change, but. So much fun, and all those actors, they bring back the same ones, or the same ones keep coming back. So you had, it's so much fun, and especially if you've seen them so many times. Like Alex Knezovich has played Grease. Who's in Grease? Danny Zuko. Danny Zuko. Alex has played Danny Zuko, Jack Kelly, and now Sky. Those are some of if you're a
amazing.
theater boy,
Yeah.
you want to play those roles for sure.
Yeah.
And this guy is ripped. during Lay All Your Love on Me, when Sky sings with Sophie, it was like, oh, it's getting a little steamy in here. And Jessica Fredrickson, she plays such a good Sophie. Like such a good Sophie.
That's such a hard role to play too.
Yes.
She sings some tough songs.
You have to be assertive, your range has to be just off the charts, and you have to have that more softer side and kind of like you're falling in love on an island.
You have to be like energized 24/7.
Yep.
Like the first scene, Ashley, when her friends come and they're just like screaming. Oh, you could eat up that energy.
You have to do that a lot too, like every single night while the run.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the show runs from March 8th all the way to the end of September. So they've got
Crazy.
a long way
Yeah,
to go.
think
for sure.
about it. Like that's so hard on your
That's
voices
exhausting.
too. And
I know, you got to break out the steam because you get
That's a
your little
lot.
steamer out. Yes, of course. Well, and the ensemble too. I cannot get enough of those ensemble people.
Exactly.
Because they are even more energetic than the main cast. And they have to be because they run around, the audience will
do
pop up.
everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you guys, the end is this big concert that they put on. So they'll bow and then they'll come out and do a
do an
concert.
encore.
Yes, okay.
Love
so
it.
we're all going. We all got to go together.
Absolutely.
already planned.
All right, when we return from the break, we're going to break down some Taylor Swift news. We'll see you then. Well, she did it again. Over the break, Taylor Swift posted on her Instagram a cover of the Elle magazine, and what she was teasing, I wasn't expecting, because she released an essay type thing of 30 things she learned before she was 30. Not new music, unfortunately. And I'm still praying that she gets that new music out, just even if it's a single. I just want some more Taylor Swift. But this essay was so amazing.
I didn't know she was so insightful.
Yes.
Just she's smart and she knows
She's
what she's
very
talking
smart,
about.
and very talented. Being able to write all your own songs and all of what she's told through her songs says it in itself. And I thought that it was great what she said.
I think she's like a great role model
Yeah.
for just young women to look up to. I know I looked up to her as a kid, the old Taylor Swift and the
old
more
Taylor.
countryside, but
I'm sorry, the old Taylor can't come to the phone
phone
right
right
now.
now.
Ashley, Ashley, what
dead.
was your biggest? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
What was your biggest takeaway from this essay?
The one line that I love that she said was, it doesn't hurt you as a person to apologize to somebody that you love that you hurt. And I was just like, that is very insightful, because when you think that you're apologizing, you're like, well, that doesn't look good for me or my reputation. But it's like, if you hurt that person and you love that person, just apologize, because it doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't do anything to you.
I thought she had so many great things to say. They were all so insightful, and it wasn't like just super random things like, oh, I learned how to edit something on here. It was like so many like worthwhile things that she put on there.
She said, don't be scared of the hypothetical, live your life every day as it is. But
And don't live through fear.
because bad things can happen and they will happen, but you shouldn't live your life. You should live your life like it's,
That's right.
crazy.
Yes, right? Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Entertainment 30. We'll see you next week. See you later.